Topic 6-3 is just an extenuation of topic 6.2. We're just taking what we learned in 6.2 and taking it one step further. We're actually finding the solution. Now, there's something we need to know right now, and like before, okay, we'll refer to this throughout the unit quite a bit. Now, the word solution, okay, when it comes to quadratic, there's several terms that mean the same thing. If it says to solve, solve a quadratic equation, this is what we're looking for. It's also referred to as the x-intercept. Okay? X-intercept and the solution are the same thing. Okay? You will also hear it referred to as a root. Find the roots. We're looking for the solution. And also called the zeros. Find the zeros. We're looking for the solution. They all mean the same thing. Now, we should know what x-intercept means. That means where it crosses the x-axis. Okay, when it says solve a parabola, we're looking for where it crosses the x-axis. Okay? Now, and another thing we need to make sure we know is this will become really important on 6.4, but let me just go ahead and remind you, the quadratic parent function. Quadratic parent function is simply y equals x squared. And we'll refer to this in the next class period, so make sure we got that. What's the quadratic parent function? Y equals x squared. Okay. Now, we're going to be talking about solutions, x-intercepts, roots, and zeros. That's what we're focusing on today. Now, we have not factored yet. We are doing that later, so we are not going to do this first one. Okay. Now, find the x-intercepts using the calculator. Okay. Now, this is where I got this equation. Okay, x squared plus 5x minus 6. Okay, that's the one we crossed out. Okay, but what we want to do, go ahead and go to your y equals again, just like we did last class. Okay, let's enter this equation in the first y equals. Y equals x squared plus 5x minus 6. Okay, go ahead and graph it. Go ahead and hit graph. There's your parabola. Okay, now the solutions and the x-intercepts are the same thing. So now, does this cross the x-axis? Yes. How many times does it cross the x-axis? Crosses once there and once there. So on this parabola, excuse me, this parabola, there are two solutions. Now, some of them you can kind of count. Okay? But sometimes you can't tell exactly where it crosses. So I'm going to get the calculator to tell me where it crosses. Now, in order to do this, okay, you have to do this step right here. It says put y sub 2 equals 0. Okay, y equals 0. That's the equation of the x-axis. That's y equals 0. Horizontal line that crosses the y-axis at 0. So go back to y equals and put y sub 2 equals 0. Now we can get the calculator. Once I have this here, I can get the calculator to tell me what the x-intercepts are. Okay? So now, and once again, step-by-step instructions of how to do it. Okay, we just put y equals 0. Okay, now it says go to second calc, which is the trace button. Choose intersect. We're looking for where the lines intersect. So I'm going to choose number 5. Now, it says first curve down at the bottom. Let me zoom in where you can see it. What I want you to do here is move the cursor close to one of the intercepts. It won't be perfect, but that's close. Once you get it close to one of the x-intercepts, hit enter 3 times. Enter, enter, enter. Okay, so the first x-intercept is at 1, 0. Let me zoom back out. The first is at 1, 0. But now, looking at our graph, we have 2 x-intercepts, or 2 solutions. Okay, so now to find the other one, I have to hit second calc again. We're looking for number 5, and now move the cursor close to one of the other intersection. Oops, I passed it. I'm going to back up. Oh, there it is. Now, I have it close. Let me zoom back in. Okay, I have the cursor right here. Once my cursor is there, or close to there, hit enter 3 times. 1, 2, 3. The other intersect is at -6, 0. Now here, even though we didn't factor, like I said, we will do that later. It says compare the x-intercepts to the solution. Okay, we would have gotten the solutions as being 1 and -6. Okay, we would have gotten those as my solutions if I had factored it and solved it by factoring. Now, what do we notice about the solutions and the x-intercepts? You should notice that they're basically the same thing. The x-intercept is a point, and the solution is just the x value of that point. Okay, so basically, like what we said at the very beginning, solutions and x-intercepts are the same thing. Okay, on to the next page. This puts everything that we've done up to this point all into one. Now, as you start working on this, where it says factors, we are not going to deal with factors till the next unit. Okay, so you can just cross through everywhere it says factors. Okay, so now, first thing, what I would do, okay, go ahead clear your memory. Second plus 712. Okay, that way, okay, everything, I don't have to go and delete stuff from the calculator. I'll just erase it as it is right now. Now, they give us an equation. Put that in your calculator. X squared minus 8x plus 15. Graph it. Okay. Now if you look at this graph, okay, what I would do is I would find the vertex first. Okay. Does this have a minimum or a maximum? It opens up. The vertex is at the very bottom, so it is a minimum. So let's find that vertex. Let's repeat how to do it. Second calc. We're looking for a minimum, so I'm going to hit number 3. Left bound. Find the cursor. Move it to the left of the vertex. That's to the left of the vertex. Hit enter. Right bound. Move it to the right of the vertex. Hit enter. Guess I don't want to. Hit enter again. The vertex, now, we have to, sometimes these are, very, 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 they stretch it out a little bit. Go ahead and round this 3.99999. Okay, that's close to 4. So I'm going to say the x value is 4, the y value is -1. There's my vertex. Okay, now, axis of symmetry. We dealt with that in 6.1. Okay, that's the vertical line that splits the parabola in half. Okay, it's always the x value of the vertex. So my axis of symmetry equation would be x equals 4. Okay, so I did this second. Okay. Now, if you want to, you can go ahead and fill in the table. Okay, so I'll do this third. Okay. Okay, go to my table. Second graph, or second table. When x is 1, y is 8. When x is 1, y is 8. When x is 8, so scroll down to 8, y is 15. Okay. Now, let's find the x-intercepts. We zoom back out again. Okay, so we'll do this fourth. Okay, make yourself a reminder. Put y sub 2 equal to 0. You will not get the correct intercept if you do not put this in the calculator. So right now, go to y equals and go to the second one and hit y equals 0. Should look like this. Okay, good there. Now go ahead and hit graph. Okay, there's our parabola. Now let's, first of all, check to see if it crosses the x-axis. Yes, it does. How many times? It crosses twice. Okay, so let's find those two x-intercepts. To find the intercept, go to second calc again, and we're looking for number 5, where it intersects. Okay, move the cursor to one of the intersections or close to it. Hit enter 3 times. 1, 2, 3. The first intersection is at 3, 0. Okay, now for the second one. Second calc again, number 5. Move it to the other intersection. Hit enter 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the second intersection is at 5, 0. Okay, now x-intercepts and solutions are the same thing, except x-intercepts are a point, solutions are just the x value of the point. What's the x value here? That's 3. That's one of the solutions. And x value of this one is 5. There's my 2 solutions. Now all we have to do is sketch the graph. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's put our vertex on the graph. Vertex is at 4, -1. Vertex is right there. Okay, let's draw our axis of symmetry. X equals 4, vertical line. Okay. Now let's put these points. 1, 8. 15, somewhere way up here. Okay, there's my graph. There's my sketch. Okay. Now, on 4 through 7, okay, we're just trying to find the x-intercepts or the solutions. Okay, now, in order to put this in our calculator, it has to be in standard form. The whole equation has to be on the same side. If you look at 5 and 6, okay, they're on both sides of the equal, so we'll have to do some work before we get there. Now, 4 is good. Okay, so I could simply go to my calculator. For right now, we can go ahead and leave that y sub 2 equals 0 in there. Okay, but let's change the first one. Okay. 9x squared plus 12x minus 1. Okay. Now what I would do is hit graph. Does this cross the x-axis? Yes. Crosses it there, crosses it there. Let's find the solution. Second calc, we're looking for number 5. Move it close to one of the intersections. It's already right there. Okay, hit enter 3 times. So one of the solutions is at, if you can see this, one of the solutions is at 0.08. And there's another solution, so let's go back here. Second calc number 5 again, move it to the other one. The other x-intercept, hit enter 3 times. The other solution is at negative 1.4. Okay? Any questions there? Number 5. You notice this 2 is on the right side of the equation. To move it over to the left, or to get rid of it from here, I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. So I have 7x squared plus 2x minus 2 equals 0, or equals y. Okay, now it's all on the same side. Okay, go to y equals, and y sub 1, clear that out, and let's put this 7x squared plus 2x minus 2. Okay, hit graph. Does it cross the x-axis? Yes. Right there and right there. Let's find the two solutions. Second calc number 5. Move it to one of the intersections. Enter 3 times. Okay. First solution is at 0.41 or 0.4. And let's find the other one. Second calc number 5 again, move it to the other one. Okay, close to it, hit enter 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Second solution is at negative 0.7. Okay, so there are my 2 solutions. Okay. Number 6. Is it all on the same side of the equal sign? No. We have to move this negative 9x over here. How am I going to get rid of the negative 9x? I'm going to add 9x to both sides. Okay, so I have 6x squared plus 9x plus 7. Okay? Equals 0 or equals y. That's the same thing. So now go to y equals. Let's put this in our calculator. 6x squared plus 9x plus 7. Hit graph. Now, look closely. Does this cross the x-axis? No. If the x-intercepts and solutions are the same thing, and this doesn't cross the x-intercept, what would be the solution for number 6? Where does it cross the x-axis? It doesn't. So number 6 is no solution. Oops, sorry. No solution. Then the last one, number 7. Okay, now we could either move the 4x squared over here or move everything to the right, to the left. Now, how would I move this 10x to the left? By subtracting it. How would I move this negative 5? Okay, so now we have 4x squared minus 10x plus 5. We can't combine those because they are not like terms. Okay, let's go back to our calculator. Y equals, let's put this 4x squared minus 10x plus 5. Hit graph. Does it cross? Yes, it does. Let's find the intersections. Second calc, number 5. Move it close to one of them. Enter, enter, enter. First intersection is at 0.7, and if you'd have put 0.69, I'd have counted it right. Second calc 5, move to the other one and hit enter 3 times. Okay, the second intersection is at 1.8. So negative 0.7 and 1.8, or 0.7 and 1.8. So there's my 2 solutions. Okay, and then the last one. Find the vertex of this quadratic equation algebraically. What's the axis of symmetry? Okay, first of all, okay, let's find the axis of symmetry first. Okay, this is back to 6.1. Okay, this is where we came up with our A, B, and C. Okay, what would be my A? What's in front of the x squared? My A is negative 2. My B, what's in front of the x? Negative 4. And my C is negative 7. Okay, the formula to find the axis of symmetry is x equals the opposite of B over 2A. Okay, so now let's plug this in. Opposite of B, opposite of negative 4 is positive 4, times 2 times negative 2, because A is negative 2. So we have 4 over negative 4, which is negative 1. So my axis of symmetry is x equals negative 1. Axis of symmetry is x equals negative 1. So my vertex, my x value, is negative 1. Now we need to find my y when x is negative 1. So take the equation. Okay, and substitute negative 1 for x and solve for y. Okay? Negative 1 squared. That's 1 times 2 is 2. Negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4. And then minus 7. So 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 minus 7 is negative 1. So my y value of the vertex is negative 1. So my vertex is at negative 1, negative 1. Once you get here, if you want to, you can go to your y equals. Clear this out. Let's put this equation, negative 2x squared. Oops, I wasn't in the right place. Into y equals negative 2x squared minus 4x minus 7. Okay, graph it. Well, that's it. Make sure when you get here, when you get to the worksheet, okay, anytime it says factors, okay, we're not worried about that. Okay, and also make sure your x-intercepts are a point. Your solutions are just the x value of that point. And it looks like this. Okay? You might refer back to these of which to do in which order. I hope that helps.